Welcome to the second episode of the Pickup Podcast. It's your boy Jose, and with me, as always,
Lorenzo, we finally got a name, dude. We finally have a name.
yes sir, yes sir. Um, thank you to everyone who watched the first episode. We appreciate it. Yeah,
A lot has happened between like the last episode and this one.
yeah.
A lot
Celtics
of
have
rough
been
games.
bad. You know,
Pretty, yeah.
lost a couple games to bad teams. We'll talk about that. Don't worry.
But let's first, I guess we can start off with the game last night, the Nuggets and the Celtics. So last night, I think overall they did pretty good. Like as they were able to like keep the game at where it was a pace that they could control it until I don't know, this, like I said this before, the Celtics, they struggle at trying to close games. I feel like, or they get too like passive once they have a lead, and
Yeah.
then that's when the team comes back, and then it's kind of too late.
Yeah, and yesterday's game, everyone was involved. Like, I've
Mhm.
I love to see when like in a game where Jason Tatum and Jalen Brown are moving the balls, getting like people like Pritchard or Ojale easy shots, and they're knocking them
Yeah,
down. And like Tice giving I'm not Tice giving like Robert Williams easy dunks, and but when those two players like build up their role players, that's when usually we're gonna come up with a dub. We had both of them combined for like I don't know exactly how much, but a lot of assists.
Tatum. Oh, the assist. I think Tatum had 8 and Brown had
Had
5.
five.
Yeah,
So
Brown had
when
5. Yeah,
when they're passing the ball like that, we're a dangerous team. Definitely.
Richard had 8 too, or 7.
Yeah.
That was pretty good. And then I think a good thing yesterday was Kemba. He came off. I think he didn't score like a ton of points, but he did what he had to do.
Mhm.
Like basically being that third option for the team, which
Yeah. The last couple games he's been doing that. Hopefully he keeps us up, and we can see like
consistency, man. It's
yeah.
consistency with
Hopefully you can
him.
see like back to him even getting back to like last year, like production wise. And then we'll definitely be a better team, more productive.
I think yesterday too that they played Neesmith almost like 20 minutes, and it was pretty like seeing him finally get some minutes up. I saw him shoot. He was able to knock down some hard shots, and I think they just gotta just keep giving him some playing time. But I don't know.
Yeah,
I
it was
feel
good
like
seeing
with
him
this,
get some early minutes.
yeah, I think with the Celtics right now, it's just they've been playing different rotations off, like Brad has been playing so many different rotations, and I think that's what they always do. Like they try to find the rotation, like a strong rotation to have coming into the playoffs. So, I don't know. This is like a regular thing for the Celtics. Is like they do trash kind of like the regular season. Like they do what they got to do, but when it comes to playoffs, that's when they start like clicking things together.
Yeah.
But I don't know. So my question to you was: this current team they have right now, do you think they can make it past the conference finals? The current team.
Right now, I would say probably not. Just because there's like people like Brooklyn out there. There's even Philly is looking really strong right now, and then there's always the Bucks, who I always, even though they might not be doing as well as they like usually do, that's still a team that I think is like a very like upper echelon team, especially if they don't have the Heat this year to
Yeah.
like stop them. But I how I think about it is like right now we might not be like going to the conference finals or even like looking like the favorites to like come out the East, but it's like we don't really need to like be all that right now because our two like best players are still 22 with Jalen Brown and
Oh my.
20
Nah.
with Jason Tatum and then 24 with Jalen Brown. So we have plenty of time to build a better team around them for them to keep getting better. And yeah,
For me, I think it's win now. Like
yeah,
they're hitting almost their primes at the age of 22 and 24, and it's a now win now situation. You know what I mean? Like you don't want to keep them there for that long and then to not be able to achieve like past the conference finals, because Tatum and Brown have been there basically. They've been to the conference finals. It's just I don't want to see them waste their talent and then just like find a different team because they know that they can't get over the hump of like passing the Eastern Conference. It's just I I think that a trade might come soon, like a midseason trade. I know the Celtics haven't done that in like a while. Like they haven't
Yeah.
traded someone to change up their team. So hopefully, I think the team they have right now, there's got to be maybe some guys they're gonna have to, let go. But
Yeah,
it's rough.
I'm still really into Drummond. Last week I already
Sure.
talked a little bit about it, but it came out that Drummond, that the Cavs are going to sit Drummond, and he's not going to play no
And
more
Blake
minutes
Griffin.
and Blake Griffin, yeah, until they find a suitable trade partner. And I seen that whenever like Woj tweeted that out, I seen that I was like, oh, Boston, I would love to have him.
Yeah.
But to think about that it needs to be win now, I don't think so, because when you think of like Anthony Davis, who like wanted to leave, or even a Kemba Walker wanted to leave, they haven't even made the playoffs. We've made the playoffs like every year that they've been in the league, and I think they're like been in the promised land a couple of times, not in the play, not in the finals or in the championship game, but I think because like they've continued to be successful. I think it's not. I think it would be like unreasonable for them to be like, oh, I request a trade. I want to go win. Like, let me join like the Lakers or something like that.
I mean, but look at the team. They were what at 500, so it's the team around them that they gotta. I feel like they didn't change the team at all since last year. Like it feels like they let go of like Hayward, Enos, Brad, but I don't think the team's different at all. I still think that they have the same like the same kind of players, just a little bit better than who they had last year. But it's I kind of a trade I kind of want to see though is try to get Jeremy Grant, get him out of Detroit.
I do like
Bring him
Jeremy
to
Grant. Yeah.
Jeremy Grant is. I think he's gonna be a great like coming off like not coming out. I think he's gonna be great in the starting lineup. Just he don't need the ball all the time, but he can also be that long wing defender or that offensive player that they can look towards to. And it's I don't know, it's just trades. I think the Celtics, they need to make some changes. I heard some people talking about firing Brad Stevens. I think that's not
my brother said something like that, and I was like, "You want to fire Brad
Fire
Stevens?" I
Brad?
don't know. When he said like, I think of it like I don't necessarily want him to leave, but I think of it like a Mark Jackson, Steve Kerr thing with the Warriors. How Mark Jackson, he got Steph, Clay, and Draymond to like where they are today, but they needed Steve Kerr to like put them over the edge and win championships. It
But the
could
thing
be
is,
like that, but we could be able to do it with
if you
Brad
let him
Stevens.
go though, who's out there? Like who's out there that they could
Yeah, that's a
try to
very good
get?
point. Yeah,
I
that's
don't
true.
I don't really see like a top contending like coach that would want to play. Like maybe I don't think Popovich would ever leave the Spurs.
Nah, he's there.
He's staying there. But I don't know. I don't really see a suitable coach that could help the Celtics other than Brad Stevens.
Yeah.
Let's see. But the other night, I said this last time when they played the Sixers. The Celtics can't stop a big man. Jokic almost had 50 last night.
Yeah.
He had 43. And it was like the two main players the Celtics really can't stop, and they're basically the two MVP candidates. It's a dominant center. Jokic showed it off, right? 43 points, and he only missed like only a couple shots, dude.
Yeah, he was definitely going off.
A big need the Celtics needs to do is find a way to upgrade their center position, because the players they have right now for their center is like what Thompson and Tice. They're like bench players basically. Like I basically see them as like coming off the bench. The Celtics, that's a big upgrade for me that I think they need to get. I thought it would be like a new point guard, but I think it's just the size and depth of that team.
Yeah, another thing that I think is hurting the Celtics, or like especially right now, is what making us look so bad is the Marcus Smart injury. Like Marcus Smart
Oh
went
yeah,
down like late January during the Lakers game, and he ever since then that's when like we started like losing game. Even that game we were close. We lost that one, but we were really close. We
yeah,
were like a point, and ever since then we were like losing a lot of games that we should have won. And I think a lot of that is because of like that defensive energy, that defensive like mindset that Marcus Smart brings. And yeah, I don't know when he's coming back. When he got injured, it was like a 2 weeks. I'm pretty sure it has like been there. I'm just like,
yeah.
Kemba, hurry up, let's go. But
I'm hit. I. It's crazy how much Marcus Smart just helps the Celtics. I
yeah,
just, especially on offense too. Like he hit some tough shots. Like he hit some really tough shots, but he also helps set up basically the offense. He's also there like as the point guard. When Kemba just can't be there, it's just Marcus Smart. Because when Kemba was out, Marcus Smart was on the starting lineup, and they were they were able to push the pace. Like they weren't stagnant. They weren't slowing down. Like they were able to be aggressive basically all the time. That's what I want to see them do. It's like they don't want to be aggressive at all. Like at times they beginning of the game, yeah, but once teams got to catch up, they just stop being aggressive.
yeah.
And
We're gonna need Marcus Smart, especially for today's game. Because Kemba's not playing today. He doesn't play
yeah,
this.
back to back
Yeah,
games.
yeah, he doesn't play the back to backs. And usually when Kemba's out, we have Smart run our point guard. And when we see that, our flow, I really like our team when he plays point guard. And not only that, Smart would be a would like come so clutch guarding Trey Young, who
Yeah.
has been having a great season this year.
What do you think about John Collins? He's also on the trade market. Like that's what I'm
Yeah,
hearing.
I really like John Collins. He offensively he's really good. Defensively he can't is he struggles a little bit because he can't play center. Uh,
Yeah,
he gets
he's the
yeah
smaller.
he gets dogged in center. Like I looked up like potentially even having him, and he would be like barely better. Like offensively he'll be leaps and bounds above like a
Mhm.
Tice or a Thompson, but defensively we're gonna struggle with those same problems of like shot blocking, and we're gonna need like defense and stuff like that. That John Collins wouldn't really help us in, but he is scary. He is scary. He's really good.
Oh yeah, and then um, I don't know. It's just need more scoring, man. Like you can't. Kemba's gone, right? So Kemba's not playing today. Who other than Tatum and Brown said this last time? They need scoring. Semi Ojale got like had a good game. I was thinking, I'm like, all right, if he keeps this up, he's gonna get more minutes. But after that one game, he's been just average. I don't want to hate on Semi. It's just like I really do think he can be a good like fourth option, fifth option for the team. It's just he needs to be more consistent or be more aggressive. Like taking it, he's shooting more shots this year. Like he's able
Yeah.
to like hit down his shots, but I want to see him be able to be more aggressive towards the rim.
Yeah, someone
Mm,
I'm gonna be looking at today is gonna be Pritchard for that same reason. He's a rookie, so I'm not like if he doesn't come out and like score decently off the bench, maybe like even for like 15 points or that might be actually like too much. I don't know, but just like for him to come off the bench, play some great on ball defense and score. I'm looking forward. I'm looking forward to like seeing that into him today. Hopefully.
all right, so we could get into some trades. Well, we already talked about. We kind of touched upon like some players we that were already on the trade market. But do you think Blake Griffin would be a good player for this team? Because
He's
I
just
don't think
too
that.
expensive. What are
Yeah.
you gonna
So
say?
the thing about Blake Griffin is like his his salary is way too high for
Yeah,
the like he's not averaging the points to be getting the salary he gets. So I think the only way like they're gonna really let go of Blake Griffin is a buyout. Like if
yeah,
both parties come into a buyout, the Celtics, that TPE like the trade player exception they had, it's like 28 million. So they could try to get with him, but it's he's not the same. He's not that aggressive slashing big man that he always was. If he was, man, I think it would be great for this team. I
Yeah,
think like
yeah, go ahead.
he would spread the floor. He would like with all these players now, like Jaylen Brown being able to shoot. He would like I said, like when you attack the paint, you give more opportunities to shooting. So if he was
Yeah,
able to,
sorry, I keep cutting you
he was
off.
able. Oh, if he was able to be the old person he was, he would be great for this team.
Yeah, definitely. Blake Griffin, he's one of my favorite like all time player, just because of the way he used to be able to slash, and then
Yeah,
due to all the injuries, how he like repurposed his game, shot a bunch of threes, and like became a good playmaker. Like it's been really good like seeing him like change his game.
Mhm.
But yeah, I wouldn't like on the Celtics. It just he wouldn't be bringing us over the hump any like he wouldn't be making us any much like that much better. Like honestly, for in a lot of situations, I would rather have like a Tice getting those minutes because
yeah,
he's been like stretching the floor really good this season, and even he plays like above average defense. And I'd rather have that than like having a old Blake Griffin and that next season he's probably going to be even worse.
yeah.
And because I still don't
Um,
think that like I'm not like you. I still don't think that has to be a win now. So
nah.
Blake Griffin, even if he was like maybe last year where he was a little bit of a better shooter, I still wouldn't think we should pull any trade to get him.
Damn. I don't know. I mean, you come into the season knowing like, all right, you come into the season knowing you're gonna win a ring. I think the Celtics every year every year everyone comes in saying Celtics are good, Celtics are good, but they
Yeah,
play mediocre. Like they don't play the potential that they can. It's just I think playing because Tatum came back right from the coronavirus situation, and Brad Stevens has been playing him a lot. He's been getting a lot of minutes. Tatum, and I guess he had a situation where he hasn't been breathing right.
yeah,
So I think forcing like a lot of minutes on him, it's gonna deplete him. He's not gonna be like, and especially with all these games now, like back to backs, it's gonna be hard for him to really like keep up with the pace if he's dealing with something. But the Celtics really need him. They kind of basically need all their star players right now, just to be able to look good into the playoffs. Because I don't want them coming into the playoffs at like say the 7th seed and they're playing against like the Bucks the first round or
that suck.
the Sixers. Like the Celtics got to figure out a way to get into that top 3 because even if like say a good matchup, I think it'd be a Pacers and a Celtics the first round. That'd be a great series. But are the Celtics able to beat a team in a 7-game playoff, like a 7-game stretch? This team doesn't look like it, man. Like they're up and down. Like they'll get their good games, their highs, and then their lows. But
Yeah,
they're never
how I see it
consistent.
is like we're like building this like reputation or mentality or mindset or whatever where we get up for the good teams like when we play the Lakers or the Clippers we play good like
Yeah.
when we beat the Clippers and we when Brown wasn't playing like that was a good win for us, but then when we play like the Wizards or the Pistons, and then
Yeah,
we
we're
kind of
acting
like
like the
we
Pistons.
we like chill out. We chill out. We're like, oh, this is easy dub, and then they come and surprise us. Like one of my favorite players, and this kind of like going off into a tangent, but one of my favorite players to watch right now is Sadiq Bey because he is
City Bay.
that Sadiq Bey is he's really good. His shot is so weird, but like he's just really fun to watch.
All
He's a
these
good
like new
shooter.
like
He
yeah,
can defend. He's really cool.
uh, City Bay. Like I've heard of him. I haven't really like seen him play,
Yeah,
but
he's
I
good.
I heard that he's getting some really good coming off the bench. He's been really good.
Yeah.
So the Celtics, I think, with their draft picks this year, with like Neesmith and Pritchard, that it was a decent draft. Like, I don't think I think Pritchard is gonna have a much more better season than Neesmith. It's because of how well Pritchard like fits into the system. But if maybe I wouldn't deal Pritchard, but I would probably deal Neesmith. Like if there was a trade to go out there, maybe get JJ Redick and like some just at least floor spacing and like shooting. I wouldn't mind Neesmith for like JJ Redick in a pick because like Danny Ainge always holds on to these draft picks, man. Like he always holds on to the players we draft. They just are. They're not like the craziest best players that I would, keep on a team.
Yeah, I think it's too early to give up on Neesmith though, just because I think the reason why Pritchard is doing so good because he has so much opportunity coming into the season. When the beginning, like the first 10 games or so, Kemba was out and Pritchard was able. He got some quality minutes behind Jeff Teague, who was starting but wasn't playing very good. So he got some early time to prove himself. And then Neesmith kind of had to, even though he was drafted first, like before him, he still had to like wait on the bench, wait for his turn. And it just happened that Pritchard had his turn first, and he balled out and he proved to Brad Stevens why he should be playing even over Jeff T. Like Jeff T, he's getting like DNP's coach's decision. Like I barely see him on the court nowadays.
He's not shooting well, man. I think a great substitute for him would to grab George Hill from OKC. I think George Hill. Yeah, George Hill, you would be a really great fit. I think he's almost the same kind of player, but he's great at like getting the play-ins. He's great at like getting the players in the spots they got to be in. I think he's gonna be a great fit, better than Jeff Teague. Because coming in, Jeff Teague looked good. Like the first couple of games, I'm like, oh, okay. Like we got a good guard coming off the bench and scoring, but then it's just been going downhill from that. But George Hill probably like look onto Terrence Ross in Orlando to grab another depth in the team. Because I was reading an article like on Bleacher Report, they were talking about players that the Celtics are looking at as like Harrison Barnes, LaMarcus Aldridge, PJ Tucker. I think those are going to be like great players, especially LaMarcus Aldridge. I really like LaMarcus Aldridge. When I saw that, LaMarcus Aldridge would fit this team because he's really good as a big man and he can shoot. He's kind of old, but he can still get his numbers in.
Yeah, I like the PJ Tucker one a little more just because he's also old. Like all the people are older, which I don't think we have to like. I don't think we have to win now, but PJ Tucker, I don't think would have to give up much for him, and he's like, he's a great defender. He could even play small ball center. He can stretch out the floor. He loves his dumb corner threes of his. I think he'll be a good fit, especially if we
bringing back. Would bringing back Al Horford be in your mind?
I would love to. I'll be honest, I haven't been watching too much OKC games.
OKC.
How we played last year with the Sixers, I wasn't impressed. And I think we'll be fine. But right now I think we need some size at the center position. And I feel like Al Horford's a little small at that position. I think he fits more as a power forward.
As a power forward?
Back in them Hawks days.
All right, so all right, so I guess the topic I kind of want to get into real quick is like an updated. Who's your starting five right now for the East All-Stars? Would you still keep the same starting? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm keeping Bradley Beal.
Bradley Beal.
If I was to change anything, I would probably change Brown for Harden, just because like it was kind of biased of putting Brown. I love Jaylen Brown, and he's been having an amazing season. I still think he should be an All-Star, but it's off the bench. But James Harden has been amazing. He's been leading the league in assists, and he still could take over anytime. Last night he dropped like 36, I want to say, against the Suns.
Crazy comeback.
Crazy
comeback.
That dagger step back three. And yeah, so I don't see a world where he's probably not a all-star starter, even
So
over Kyrie.
for me, I would. I said about Bradley Beal dropping 30 on a trash team, but man, Bradley Beal deserves to be in this. Like he deserves to be in probably the starting line because he's so good, dude. Like he's such a great offensive player. Like I've seen him in the Wizards with him and Wall, and you know every time everyone was like Wall was the top guy, and I would see like Beal at the two, like the second option. But now, Bradley Beal is just a straight bucket. Like when
Yeah,
the Wizards played the Celtics, and they had like the two St. Louis guys like going at it, and then Beal just dropped like a 37 and Tatum dropped 8. I was like, man, Beal is just a bucket, dude. Like you can't write him off the All-Star starting team. Like you just can't. And
yeah,
then James Harden too, man. Like I took him off, but like you might actually have the Nets starting three being the starting lineup. Like Kyrie,
yeah. I that would be
Harden,
scary.
and Katie at the All-Star game, and then you have what Giannis and Embiid in your backup, dude. That's insane. Like
Yeah,
there's a possibility it could happen, but I just don't. I hate seeing like more than two people of like a team in the All-Star team. Like
I think they're all three of them are probably definitely gonna make it.
yeah,
But I don't think they're all gonna start. I don't
you
think
don't
they're
think
all gonna
so?
start. Nah.
I think Kyrie could, man. Kyrie,
I think he missed too
everything.
many games to start.
Kyrie,
Yeah, he has been getting a lot of fan votes, which I think it might save him at the end of the day, because he's
mm-hmm.
above. Actually, no, he's not above Bradley Beal in fan votes. So I actually think he's gonna probably come off the bench.
going off the bench
Yeah,
over Trae Young. Trae
yeah,
Young. But let's see what else. Um, yeah, it's just I don't know. I've been seeing a lot of reports about like will the trade fix the Celtics? So I prematurely I want to say yes, but we're so like almost at the beginning of the season that the Celtics can find a way to fix it. They just have to. Everyone has to abide by the like play by the rules. You know, being more aggressive and being consistent because with this team they need to be consistent. Coming into every single game, they got to be consistent. The I guess like the emotions they got to play in every single game is like we got to beat this team. I don't want them coming in seeing like a below 500 team and be like, all right, we can be mediocre and still win. That they got to come in here, show everyone that they're still like top dogs, bro. Because looking at the Sixers right now, they look like they can beat the Celtics easily in a 4-game, and I don't want to see that happen. Like I want to see the Celtics in the finals at least this year because last year they almost made it, but they couldn't beat a team like the Raptors in a 7-game series. Like this year, like I don't see them beating a team in this like a 7-game series past the second round or probably past the first round. Because to do that, you got to be consistent every single game. Consistency is like key to that team. They're up and down, dude. Like they're not playing the way that they're supposed to, I guess. So
yeah. I forgot. I was gonna say something. Oh yeah. I don't think the Celtics should overreact to the start though, just because like this is gonna be a weird season. Like regardless, like what you don't want is like to go out trade some like some future assets that we barely like had time like trading a Neesmith or a Pritchard or like these young guys who we barely had time to blossom into anything. You don't want to trade them for like a good like a star player, go all the way to the playoffs and to the finals even, and then someone get like missing time for COVID and all that is for nothing. Like this is gonna be a weird year, and like I think we
well,
should
you wouldn't be happy
overreact.
seeing that. Like you wouldn't be happy
It
like
would be
Celtics
cool,
going out and then winning a ring, probably trading like Neesmith. Like you wouldn't be like, all right, if
but
the
like
trade fit.
if like I don't even know if a trading Neesmith is gonna like get us that much better to even be a ring a contender like right now, like or even a favorite. Like I don't think trading like a package around like Neesmith or Pritchard and like some picks. I don't think that could get us a star that could right now contribute to getting us a ring. And if so, like, especially because there's Brooklyn out there, like, there's not guarantee that, they're gonna like blow us out the water. There's all these threats that, like, I'd rather have all these players like continue to progress, and like if we need to make a trade, let's do it when, let's say, I don't know, Pritchard, it gets better. I don't want to like put all the expectations on Pritchard, but like, let's say if he becomes like at least like a 16 point per game score, or let's do it
You want to
when,
see them raise their
or
value first?
Ojale, exactly. Let's do it when that happens, or we can even like keep them, or like it depends. Like I want to see um what they can do, in their career.
Okay, makes sense. I don't know. Like they brought in Gordon Hayward last time. He was alright. He was
But
average.
it didn't even
But
amount
now
to
looking
anything.
at him now, he's playing like a 30 million plus player per year, bro. He's doing really good. I think it's just the Celtics. I don't know. They gotta be. It can't just be Jalen and Jason and Kemba. There has to be like better depth on the bench. Because I didn't
Right.
yesterday. I didn't even see Grant. Did Grant Williams even play yesterday?
I
Like I
didn't
don't.
play, but no, I think it's because he's injured, or like I think
He's
it's
injured.
contact tracing or something like that.
I don't know. Between the two Williams, I'd rather have Robert Williams. Grant Williams is a great player. Like he's smart on. Like he's a great fit for that team. He's smart. It's just the offensive capability. I think I would give it to Robert Williams. He's more athletic. I think if the Celtics really need to keep a Williams, I think it would be Robert. Yeah, like Grant, smart. Like Grant is just a smart. Like he's a smart player. And coming in, he knows the like how to spread the floor with Jason and Jalen. Like, but I don't know. I think there's
But
just
like
way too many like
you
big.
don't have to trade any of them right now at this moment.
Man, I don't. They got to like I.
Cause
If they're up, if they
it's
go
not like
under,
trading, unless you could get like a Drummond, which actually is possible. Like I don't think that you should like be just like going to a team like, oh, here, take these people without like getting at least a semi young player, or someone who could like continue to build and get better.
man, Celtics need a sense of urgency. Like this is like a wake up call, basically. I think this is their mid-season wake up call. Like, yo, we're about to hit below 500,
Yeah.
and we've been coming into the season as everyone talking about like they favorites to come out the East, but it they got to be able to like be consistent and you know play teams like every single team the same way, aggressive and consistent. Because the shooting's getting better. I don't know if you saw, but their shooting has gotten a lot better.
Yeah.
I think they're much more comfortable being able to just spot up and shoot. Um, Tatum's been driving to the basket really well. You know, he's more focused. I think he was just focused on hitting those tough like jumpers and difficult shots late in like the possession of the games, and then the way he is like he's either gonna make it or just shut you up, and then just like But I think the Celtics they just gotta wake up to the reality that they're not the best to come out the East as of right now. That's what they gotta. That's what they gotta know.
Right.
But the next 6 games, we'll see. We'll see how they go. They play the Hawks like 3 times. Then they play the Mavericks and the Pelicans, which is gonna be those two are gonna be really great games. We're gonna see how because the Pelicans got some bigs over there. They got some beefy guys over there,
Yeah.
man. Like, so I want to see what the Celtics are gonna do against that. Like how they're gonna be able to stop an aggressive team attacking the basket like that, and they got shooters all around them. So that's gonna be a great game to see. And then we're gonna be able to see Luka Doncic come in and that star player coming into the Celtics and see what he could do. But do you think they're gonna do good? Like, you think they're gonna have like a plus or minus like
I
these
think
next
these
6 games?
again. I think these are all winnable games. Just if like we go,
Yeah,
I said that about the last 6 games.
the
Um,
Pistons winnable
uh,
games.
but I think if we step up and we play our best basketball, I think we could win all these games. Of course, that's the question. Are we gonna play our best basketball? Are we gonna step up? I predicted to lose one of the Hawks games, maybe even two of them.
Mhm.
Um, I think we could beat the Mavericks just because they haven't been playing well themselves. And the Pelicans, they don't they don't really have a way to stretch the floor. So I think we could also play really good against them. But
Against the Pelicans.
it's just a matter of are we going to go out there and perform, and also a matter of when Marcus Smart's coming back because
Come
he
on.
might
Yeah,
come
he's gonna be a
back.
major key.
Yeah, he might come back within these games.
Yeah.
But I think that's good. We're trying to get this one a little
A
less
little
than an
shorter,
hour,
yeah.
a little shorter. Um,
But I think next week we got some good stuff coming up next week. Next week looks pretty good because we're gonna be doing like what the all. Is it? Should we do next week the All Star like little draft that
yeah,
we might do?
the next week or whenever the All Star rosters are announced, we're gonna do a draft. Like you're gonna see, it's gonna be fun. We have some good things planned. Um, but yeah,
But yeah, we appreciate
hey,
y'all for coming to this one. This was a fast one, but it's just a little update on the Celtics. They're not playing their best, but hopefully they can come out and get past these stretch of games. You know,
yep,
just become like a top team that everyone's showing. Like they just because they're the Celtics, man. They gotta show everyone that they're the top team. I think for this team, it's momentum too. Like momentum. There's no fans out there that style the Celtics play. The Celtics play off momentum. A lot of these guys on the Celtics play off momentum, and I think that's what we're just lacking. But time's gonna go by, and we're gonna be able to fix things up. Work out our rotations and work out some ideas on how to be able to spread the floor and be aggressive. But
yep.
you got any like last things to say before?
Nah, just thank y'all for watching. Make sure y'all like,
Yeah,
subscribe, comment,
the Pickup
share,
Podcast.
do all that. Yep, to the Pickup Podcast. We got some interesting stuff coming in the future. So make sure you stay tuned.
All right.
So, yep, we out. Deuces.